My dear friend, from where I'm standing, this may sound weird right now. I used to hate music theory. I thought it was boring, difficult, and entailed a lot of memorizing. Not only that, some say that it could damage my creativity, so I geared away from music theory for years. Then one day, I bumped into a friend of mine who happens to play guitar too. We had a little chat, and guitar playing was brought up. He took his MP3 player out and let me listen to this particular track. It had the right blend of pounding rhythm, a powerful guitar melody over an ambient background of bass and electric guitars. In short, it was a beautiful track. And as you may have guessed, it was written and recorded by him. The funny thing was, I played guitar ahead of him. In fact, I was already playing gigs when he was just starting out. I was really shocked when I heard his track. He was already playing better than me, and honestly, I was jealous. And at that very moment, the only thing that ran in my mind was, how the heck did he get that good so fast? I just had to know his secret, so I asked him. At first, he just stared at me, thinking I was just teasing him because he knew I had a long head start. I had to look at him straight in the eye to let him know that I was dead serious. And his answer blew my mind. Practice with knowledge of basic music theory. I felt like I was stung by a bee the size of a man when those words came raining into my ears. No, no, no. That just did not sound right, I thought. Remember, I didn't want anything to do with music theory. I had to ask him, why theory? Simple, he said. The early phase of learning guitar can be compared to a visit at a big amusement park for the very first time. You may find rides that you like here and there and explore more. But going back to your favorite rides can be a pain in the butt if you don't know your directions, and you can get lost easily. And that would be a drag if you only had one day to spend in the park. So the best thing to do is to bring a map with you. That way, you'll know where to find the perfect rides to warm up, and then the ones that you can get crazy at, followed by those for cooling down. That way, you'll have your amusement park experience of a lifetime. But wait, isn't that boring? Isn't it that exploration is a part of the fun? I asked. Yes, that may be the case, he said. But remember, you only have a day to spend at a park that would take more than a day to explore all in all. Music is that big, right? Okay, music theory will give you an idea on how the different rides can be connected and explored in a way that is more efficient, effective, and time-saving, so you could practice more with less time and effort. The secret behind music theory lies behind the concept of understanding and being familiar with the environment that we're engaged with. Look at it this way, he said. Playing for the first time is like watching a television in black and white. Yes, you can already produce some result, but you'll be seeing things with lesser definition and clarity. It would take time for you to familiarize yourself. With theory, you could turn that black and white set into a high definition color TV. You'll be seeing your scales, your riffs, your chord progressions, etc. in a whole new perspective and appreciate and understand them more with greater detail. Remember, geniuses have this characteristic of seeing things in greater detail, and we have the chance to at least grasp that. But they say theory can be dangerous for creativity, I said. He laughed and answered back. Clearly, reality is far from that. Think about the greatest musicians of the past, like Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, and the present, like Vai, Satriani, and Malmsteen. These guys knew theory, right? Can we say that their works are not creative? At first, his answer seemed like blurred words on a billboard. After our meeting, I had to drag myself to a bookstore to get my first ever theory book. First, I felt like my brain would explode. What I was reading wasn't making any sense. True enough, there were things to memorize, I hated memorizing. My brain was not just wired to deal with heavy mental gymnastics. But I continued. But I felt something was missing. There must be an easier way to do things, I thought. Then one day, I came across a book about brain, memorizing, and creativity. There, I learned some tricks that people use to make their studying, comprehension, and memorizing a whole lot easier. I took out a separate notebook where I merged those concepts with music theory. The missing link was found, and soon enough, I got familiar with the songs for my gigs faster than ever before, and the exercises from other materials became clearer to me. I was even able to write my very first complete song. Things were already picking up. By that time, I was juggling 3 to 5 music theory books for cross-referencing, not to mention videos and instructional sites on the internet. I kept my notebook with me all the time. One day, a friend of mine who's teaching at music school accidentally saw my notebook and asked me if he could use it for his students too. I said yes, and then realized that what if I took my notes and compiled them in a single source so that I could share to my students in a more logical and organized way? The David Slingshots guitar theory project began. Whenever I would finish a chapter, I would test it on my students. The response was amazing, and some would even bug me about the next chapter. So I kept on working on my notes,